Welcome to the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPEL. I'm your host, Tiffiany Decou. Here we talk about all the food happenings around Acadiana. If you like food, tune in. You might learn something new. Crossing fingers that we have no technical difficulties tonight. Last two episodes, we've had some technical difficulties live. Been posting the shows for the people that can't listen to it live during the week on the Lafayette Food Junkie Facebook page. Good news is we have a lot of followers because we've been getting a lot of calls and emails.
That's
so thanks for listening or trying to listen.
Know. Yeah, no, I just pushed a slew of buttons, so we should be
yes, we're good. Scott, I have eaten so much this week, and I'm going to be eating so much next week.
You were telling me about
that.
Your lineup.
I think I'm going to need a juice cleanse for the remainder of the year.
The whole year,
just to make up for it. I'm really not feeling that great. I really feel like I need some green leafy vegetables.
I feel like I need a juice cleanse just
in my
life.
To you. So Monday was the dim sum pop up.
You were excited about that. Tell me about it.
Lafayette was super excited about that.
Yeah.
I actually requested off work that day so I could get there early. And by the time I left, there was like 3-hour wait.
Oh my goodness.
For people. There were so many people there. So many people were there at 4:30.
Yeah.
Like they just flooded in. I hurried up. Got a seat. Thought I was gonna have to punch a lady. Not really. I'm just making that up. But it was so popular, and there was a lot of people that got upset because they got tired of waiting. Like some people waited 3 hours and then still didn't get to eat. That they're doing another one because it was so popular. So they're gonna do another one. I believe I'll look into that on a break and tell you when it is. But that one they decided to do reservations for.
Okay, that's smart.
And I think all the reservations are taken.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so it's very popular.
Well, this shows that Lafayette needs a dim sum.
Yes, it
restaurant.
Does. It's February 1st.
February 1st
is the next one.
Mark your calendar.
Yeah.
Well,
but the reservations, I think they're doing them family style too. So you're going to be sitting with people that you don't know, which is
you get the whole experience.
That's totally fine with me.
Yeah,
yeah, to just encourage it. But it was good. I wish there would have been more dumplings.
Yeah.
But I got to try duck feet.
How was that?
I can say I tried it.
I saw the picture. I don't know how I would feel about that.
So it did. I was thinking that it was going to taste like a chicken wing, which it does. It's basically just the skin and fat from a chicken wing, though. So I got like a chicken wing. It's a little meatier. There's no way to eat it gracefully either. Like you're sucking the skin off. You're spitting bones out of your mouth. There's no graceful way to eat a duck foot.
I just saw some little claw. I couldn't.
It made for a cool looking picture though, and now I can say that I've tried it. Like that was my main reason of wanting to try dim sum was for chicken feet. So I tried it. We also got some drunken pasta, drunken noodles. Sorry,
yes.
not pasta, drunken noodles. We did fish. The fish collar was wonderful.
Yeah. We
got to try that too. We did some cabbage. We got a good little, variety of things. So I'm very happy I got to do that. Mm-hmm. And then on that same note, I discovered that Shangri-La, which is on Johnson Street, and they do sushi, is now serving ramen.
Oh.
So we have another place in in Lafayette to get ramen. Before it was just Bread and Circus. And Tsunami had it on the menu. I don't know if it's still on the menu there. But this was legitimate ramen via research afterwards. And by research, I mean Google searches. I discovered that it is legitimate. It was legitimate.
Yeah.
Ramen. It was a miso variety of ramen. It had like a darker broth. It smelled horrible.
Oh, that's encouraging.
So that's what I told somebody. I was like, it smells horrible, but it tastes great. And apparently that was the eggs because ramen has soft-boiled eggs in it.
Yeah.
And they boiled the eggs in this beef bone broth.
Oh, gosh.
So they were so good. That was my favorite part of the whole ramen. So if you haven't had it, you can go to Shangri-La, and it's about $10. You get like this giant bowl. Mm-hmm. I'm excited that these things are coming to Lafayette. And then next week is Tuesday night is the World Foods to Go, and it's the Ethiopian pop-up.
Yeah.
So I'm super stoked that all of these cool things are coming to Lafayette's dining scene. This is the next step.
We're moving up.
It feels like next step.
Next step.
Along with the Ethiopian night next weekend, I will be in Lake Charles judging a king cake contest at their Mardi Gras festivities. Right. So I'm going to be going to Lake Charles for the weekend. I'm meeting up with another food blogger there. Kind of stoked. I'm hoping to get some interviews. So next week's show, we may have a lot of interviews from different businesses around Lake Charles. There's a food truck that I've been dying to try, and I think it's Lake Charles' only food truck, and it's called... I don't know that for a fact. I will find that... I will find that out next weekend. It's called Sloppy Taco.
Wow.
I love the name. It just makes me laugh. And they do some cool... I noticed that they do tacos on cabbage, so if you're doing the whole low-carb thing, you can get a taco. So I'm going to be meeting with them, and I'm going to go back to Kala again, Heist. There's this new wine bistro that opened up there that I'm, wanting to go and check out. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
And then, so if I haven't had enough king cake in my life, I had this crazy idea about 3 weeks ago, based on an article that Megan Wyatt, who is the food writer for the Daily Advertiser, she wrote about like 19 places to get king cake in Lafayette. And then Andre Arsenault, who is the blogger behind Eat This Lafayette, posted something where it was like, can you name these king cakes by site? And it made me think, you know what? I was like, we should do a blind king cake taste off, because so many people can look at a king cake and know exactly where it comes from.
Right.
And
I got you.
Yeah. So you're not judging by visuals at all. You're just judging by sight. And they thought it was a great idea. We got in a pastry chef, Brittany Waters, who was with Social. She was our pastry chef. And then we got someone off the street. Yeah. They won a contest. we got somebody off the street. And 13 bakeries chose to participate.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that was a lot of king cake.
Yeah.
It was a lot. It was weird to eat blind as well.
I bet.
They kept giving me forks, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to pick it up. And then some of them, like, texturally, when you would touch it, it would be so, like, you could feel the icing, and some of them had more liquids than other. It was definitely interesting to taste it like that. But first place went to Crystal Weddings. Total surprise and shock. Second place, I'm gonna butcher the name. It's La Fille Sans Chien et Pain. She used to be the pastry chef at Charlie G's. She is at the farmers market on Saturdays, and she makes the best king cake I have ever had. Yeah. It had satsuma and cream cheese.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah, it was different. I would have never chose it had I seen it firsthand.
Don't judge
but it was good. Right. And then third place went to Gambino's.
So
it was a shocker. And I love that I judged a Boudin competition in block pot that had like 65 rice-based dishes. And one day did not get sick. I did get sick.
That king cake.
I ordered a salad that night at a restaurant because I was like, I need to eat something to soak up all the sugar. I was not feeling good. Everyone was kind of in the same boat. You think that it's going to be awesome to judge something like this, and it's not, especially sugar based.
Yeah, no, that's a lot.
Like in theory, it sounds like it's going to be fun, but in reality, your stomach is only so big, and you can only hold so much. So it was an experience. So I get to experience that again.
Are you prepared? You better
be prepared. I'm prepared. Okay. I'm gonna drink a lot of water, a lot of coffee. We're gonna do this. I'm gonna be the queen of king cake judging
Challenge
by the time this is over. Okay, we are going to take our first break, and when we come back, I'm going to introduce you to our guest co-host tonight. So come back to us. It's the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Welcome back to the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPEL. I'm your host, Tiffiany Decou. And the name of the king cake that I loved so much, the La Fille Sans Chien et Pain, it's Jennifer Hughes is her name. And we decided during the break that she is a gangster of king cakes.
She is.
Because Scott apparently thought I said that on the air.
I thought that's where you were heading.
Bursted out laughing, and So now I said I have to say it on the air because it is kind of funny. She is a gangster of king cakes.
King cake.
She should actually put that on her business card.
I think it's a good slogan.
Yeah, it should definitely go there. Joining us now in studio is a girl that I have been knowing for a very long time. She used to work with my mama at McDonald's back in the day. And she has been in the service industry for almost 20 years. We thought it was 20 years, but we said we were going to say almost 20 years because we don't want to age ourselves. Because I was trying to think if I could have been doing something for 20 years, and I can't. So we're going to say almost 20 years. Miss Jacquay Johnson, thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Lafayette.
All right, so tell us about yourself.
Oh, so right now I am a server at LaFonda in Lafayette on Johnson Street.
And how long have you been at LaFonda?
Actually, next month will be my 3-year anniversary.
Wow.
Before then, I was working at Cochon. That was briefly opened here, which is now Rufino's. And then there,
You've worked all over the place.
Absolutely.
You
Lone
said
Star Steakhouse.
Bartender at Black's
For a while.
Yeah.
TGI Fridays, that used to be in the mall.
Back in the day. I actually really miss it being in the mall.
Oh.
Being as someone who works in the mall, I so wish it was still in the mall.
Minus the smoking in the mall.
Yes. Totally.
But I miss that place a lot too.
And just to kind of keep it, so John Morsiglia worked at McDonald's as well with you.
Absolutely.
And my mother. He went on to become manager at Cochon Lafayette.
Yes, ma'am, he did.
And when Cochon Lafayette closed here, he went on to manage Cochon New Orleans. And now he's a manager at Le Petit Grocery in New Orleans.
Yes, ma'am.
So keeping it all in the family. And he used to be a bartender and manager at LaFonda as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So it all ties in together. What about the service industry do you love? Because you've been doing it a while now. You went to school for a while too, and serving is where it's at.
I definitely love the people that come in. I have to say I have a great work family. We definitely all get along. But we definitely have a restaurant where we have regulars, and that is basically how we pay our bills. Without them, we would not be in existence at all. Because
LaFonda is kind of an institution.
Yes, ma'am. You definitely want to go there to be seen.
It's a Lafayette landmark.
Yes, ma'am. Since 1957.
Oh, wow.
At the location that we're at right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I've heard a rumor that the margarita that is at Legends is the same margarita at LaFonda's. Can you confirm or deny this rumor?
I will.
Plead the fifth.
Say that the recipes are similar,
but they are different.
Yes, they are definitely different. The original one is at LaFonda.
Oh, okay.
But if you need a temporary fix, people have been known to appear at this other set establishment to perhaps have a frozen cocktail.
So one thing that we've kind of talked about on the show a little bit, it was very much in the culinary world news, the whole wage increase for servers and then also for kitchen staff, and also taking away tips for servers and increasing their wage. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, from where I work, I wouldn't want that. But based on other friends that work in the service industry and hearing their stories, I wouldn't be opposed. Could that be matched, like what I make?
Right. I feel like it could be a bad thing or a good thing.
I mean, I think there's a 50-50 positives and negatives.
Right.
But I like the way I'm making my money now, to be fair.
With the tips predominantly coming from your... See, okay, because that's my whole thing with it. If you put servers at a base pay and then take the tips away, it actually hurts, because I know some servers that make more money than I make in a year. They make a lot money and good money.
Your personality,
right? Exactly, and I mean that's their livelihood, and their that's what they love doing, and they make good money doing it. So I think if you went to just across the board wage pay, it would be hurting those servers. But say a restaurant where they maybe not do as much business and maybe the clientele doesn't tip as well, it may hurt them. Yeah, because,
I mean, if I go out and I eat somewhere, I definitely think that my server is part of my experience of me going out to eat. And if it's not adequate, I'm more likely to be that person that's like, we can go somewhere else.
Right.
I know people.
Right. And I think the idea too was it was supposed to help balance out the pay between the front of the house and the back of the house, because the back of the house tends to not make as much money as the servers do. So it was supposed to kind of help balance out
equal opportunity for everyone.
Right. So what do you think about that?
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that. I mean, because, your kitchen staff is definitely going to live from check to check.
Right.
And who wants to live like that? I mean,
right.
Some of us do. But, in Serverland, you have that cash money opportunity to where you have that little bit of green just to help you get over until the next day or pay that light bill. And if you're that person in the kitchen, you're
right.
just waiting. And
there was also a restaurant in San Francisco that was putting a surcharge on the bills to pay for their employees' health care. What do you think about that? It was not very popular topic here in Lafayette when I posted about it.
I want to say I briefly heard about that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have to pay for my health insurance at work, so why would I pay for someone else's?
Right. I guess, yeah. That's kind of, yeah. I see where you're going with that. I think it was like a $1 or $2 surcharge that was on each bill.
No,
she's like, no. She's like, I am not for that life. So I always say that when Cochon Lafayette opened, it's kind of when the culinary world kind of shifted and kind of blew up in Lafayette. What do you think about that? Yeah.
It definitely,
because you were part of it. So
I opened and closed that restaurant, and it definitely opened my mind up even more to food that I wasn't eating. Actually, I had chicken feet when I was at Cochon.
Yeah.
Kyle Waters made some, and they had buffalo sauce on it. So it was a whole different experience.
So it was maybe even more like a chicken wing.
Yes. So you were more inclined to do it. But it actually was good.
Man, I want to try that. Kyle.
Dear Kyle Waters.
Please make this for me at Social Southern. Kyle's now at Social Southern for anyone
we'll
who
come and
visit
you.
Yeah. Speaking of the duck feet, you were at the dim sum night too.
I was.
But you were one of the ones that had to wait the 3 hours, and you took yours home. Correct?
I did have to get it to go. It was about a 3.5 hour wait.
Yeah.
I actually just went with one friend. I asked the hostess how much longer it would be, and she looked at me and said, I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's when I went into next mode.
And I feel bad for them too, though, because it's like people weren't getting up.
And she was the only one there.
Yeah, she was the only one there. It was super packed. And so I mean, I feel bad, and like I know that
the server
they're like, yeah.
But to be fair, though, the to-go food did not take long at all, and everything was correct for my order.
Nice. Yes. What did you got? I think you got like kind of the same things that I got.
I got the fried rice.
Oh, how was the fried rice?
Fried rice was great. It was definitely enough to. I can imagine being in the whole situation with everybody there,
and everyone
would have gotten to have some. I had the dumplings.
I had the dumplings as well.
The crispy shrimp.
Didn't have that.
They were huge with the heads on, but they were very good. And they went good with the rice. I also had the kung pao chicken. I thought it was intensely spicy, but I just brought it to work and it was approved by Mr. Brandon at work. So He said it was awesome. Yes.
he gladly took those
They'll
leftovers.
eat anything, though.
What do you think about all the pop-ups that have been happening around Lafayette?
I mean, it stops me from having to cook.
Yeah? You're a good cook, too. I see a lot of your at-home posts on your days
it's stopped
off.
me lately.
Right.
But the mood will hit me again soon. I need to make a gumbo or something.
This weather is definitely perfect for gumbo right now. What is your favorite, seafood or chicken and sausage?
I am a chicken and sausage girl.
Me too.
All day.
Me too. Every now and then, I had a wild hair a while back. I wanted shrimp and okra. And Amy Stilts, I don't know if you know Amy, she was pastry chef at Social. She's now doing Southern Jewels. She was guest co-host on the show one time. She made me shrimp and okra gumbo, and it was so good.
I am so funny about okra too. But if it's put in the right instance, I actually like it because the gumbo at Cochon had okra in it, and
it was good.
I never even noticed it.
Man, I miss Cochon being in Lafayette.
Me too.
I'm like all the time on that bandwagon. It'll come up so much in conversations. And
they made a joke the other day. We were talking about when was the last time we had a pitcher of mimosas, and I was like, Sunday brunch for $15.
Yeah. All right, we are going to take a break, and when we come back, we have more with Miss Jacquay Johnson. So come back to us. It's the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Welcome back to the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPEL. I'm your host, Tiffiany Decou, and joining us as guest co-host tonight has been Jacquay Johnson, server extraordinaire. I didn't tell my mom that you were co-hosting tonight. And my dad texted me to say Miss Babette smiled big and said to say hi. So
hi, Miss
my
Babette.
mom's so happy. Every time I tell her that I see you, her face gets so bright and happy. She's like, I miss her. Tell her I said hi.
She was definitely my work mom.
We've been talking about Cochon Lafayette, LaFonda's, margaritas. Yes. And what has been your biggest learning experience being a server?
Patience.
I would say patience is a virtue working in the service industry.
And it definitely helps to have people to help you keep your Jesus around you, because sometimes you just need to count to 5. There are things that definitely happen at my job that you might not expect, but tequila is
your friend?
It's their friend.
Oh, their friend. Oh, okay. But in the same way, it's your friend.
It's absolutely.
Right. So on that note, what has been the weirdest or funniest serving story that you can tell us on the air? What I would love to hear is one about a patron, and I would love to hear one about someone that works in the restaurant industry, but no names, of course, because we have to keep people anonymous.
Right. Let me go back to the patron one.
Be thinking.
Okay, so something
funny or weird, yeah, that you could tell us.
Oh, I mean, a funny one that just happens to me in general. Of course, my real name is Jacquay. Mm-hmm. My shirts just say Quay on it.
Okay.
It could get a little loud in LaFonda sometimes. So a lot of times they think that I say quail.
Oh, your name is Quail?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And then I correct them, and then I feel inclined to say my whole name. Or sometimes they might think it's Amy because the Q looks like an A.
Okay.
And
Amy I could get.
Yes. Oh, there's
Quail, not
almost
so much.
a year later, and I'm like, wait, I think they really still think my name is Amy. Let me maybe readdress them with that and let them know that my name is Quay and I'm not an animal also. Oh.
What is it like working in different styles of restaurants? I mean, you've worked in like fast casual, you worked, TGI Fridays, and then where you have LaFonda, where it has like a clientele that's been going there for years, and like you get to know the patrons by name. What is it like working in the different types of environments?
They're all completely different, but I feel like I did them all at the right stages in life. Like Cochon was definitely more of my fine dining and just being able to just take everything I've learned from everywhere and just be able to apply it in that one place. And at LaFonda, I have to leave some of that behind just because it's not necessarily fine dining, but there are still things that I do that, I just consider part of average good service that
right.
I'm going to do anyway. That can always be kind of a little different too, and everything like that, just with the hustle and bustle and everything like that too. Fine dining can be so much quieter and just a little bit more reserved, but at LaFonda, you pretty much can be as loud as you want. Nobody can hear you.
Gotcha. What is one thing that you would want a patron to know from your perspective going into a restaurant?
To let us wait on you. Like, we generally have a scheme in our brain of how we're going to wait on you. We're going to get you something to drink, something to eat, and give you some great personality and everything and fun in between. And just to be patient with us, because it could get a little crazy in there sometimes.
Okay, so with as popular as smartphones and technology has become, and people, being on their phone at the tables, people snapping pictures of their food, and I mean, I'm so guilty of that. I'm trying to get better at it when I'm dining out with other people, not being on my phone. But
my friends love that.
If I'm by myself, I'm like on that phone. What, from your perspective, how do you think that that's changed serving?
I think it's cool. I mean, I love to take pictures of my food when I go out to eat, and my friends are very aware that I'm going to take a picture of their food too.
But then, like, I, as a server, I guess, like, trying to go up and get information from them, and they're like on their phone, like texting or on Facebook or whatever. I
mean, LaFonda is just a little bit different because, people probably just know the menu. They're not always just like, I need to look at it. And if it is those people that, they need that time and everything like that, it's not really like upsetting or anything like that.
Because there was an article that had came out a while back about this restaurant that was getting really bad Yelp reviews. And they went back and looked, and they were complaining about wait time. Like, wait times were taking forever. And they went back and looked, and the reason why they were waiting so long is because the people were on their phones. And so the servers were kind of not trying to wait on them and not, and they, they were on their phone. So it was really not the restaurant's fault. It was really the patron's fault that the meal was taking longer.
I would say we definitely have more picture takers and everything. Like, everybody. I feel like
I see an Instagram selfie from LaFonda at least once a week in my newsfeed.
It's probably on a Friday or a Saturday night.
Yes.
In the darkness with a little bit of flash.
Yeah, I definitely see a lot in there. So I didn't know how that, that affected you or anything.
Yeah, it's not really that much of a factor. I mean, more, can you take a picture or be in this picture?
Right.
Than looking at your phone.
Right. And when you get off of work and on your days off, where do you like to go to eat and drink?
To eat. I really, I don't snack too much, but the establishment that I may go to have that cocktail after, I usually go to Legends on Johnson Street.
Yes, I every time I go to Legends on Johnson Street, I see Jacquay.
Who? Me?
Yes.
Never. I've been known to maybe have a slow and low old fashioned there.
I will say this, that Legends in particular is very popular with the service industry, because when it gets to be about the time that the restaurants start closing in Lafayette, you see a lot of restaurant workers in that.
I do. A lot of them do.
That particular Legend.
Absolutely. And that's how I kind of just get like a little feed into everybody's feelings and everything like that. Charlie G's goes a lot. Don's, just
I love that
pretty much all of us nearby.
That they're doing old fashions with the slow and low, though.
Yes.
Which, if you haven't had the slow and low, it kind of tastes like an old fashioned to start with.
It's so it kind of
just enhances it.
Honey and oranges.
Yeah.
And it's a rye whiskey.
It's good. The bottle resembles Jack Daniel's, and I actually pointed that out to somebody, and he looked at me like I had three heads, and I'm like, no, it does. But it's like
a little bit shorter.
It's so rock and roll. It's like a rock and roll glass. It's a beautiful bottle that it comes in. We actually had that one at the whiskey tasting that I hosted.
Yum.
So I got to have it there. Yeah, it's a good one. I'm going to have to start ordering the Slow and Low Old Fashioned at Legends now.
Yes, indeed.
I'll have to give it a shot.
Happy hour starts at 10. A double is like $6.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so what about food-wise?
Wow. I'm definitely more of I'm a Sunday girl because we're closed on Sundays and Mondays. I am a bruncher.
I see your brunch posts a lot.
I would definitely say French press is probably one of my favorites to go. I definitely like to go in a small crowd so we don't have to wait too long or sit at the bar. But I do like to sit at tables there. And if it's a budget day, I've been known to do the good bonefish brunch too. I love fresh squeezed juice or real orange juice. So if that's not involved, I probably will not be involved in brunching there.
Word to the wise, have fresh juice.
Get fresh juice, and if it doesn't come with Grand Marnier in it, add some.
Nice. And you also like bread and circus.
I do.
It's
so savory and yummy, yes.
Yeah.
And y'all old fashions are not too bad either.
Oh yeah, you said you had.
I
one
did.
Of theirs
the raw
for
sugar rim was everything.
Yeah. They're good. They started this pizza thing. They've called it the pizza experiment. They always have pizza on late night. They have it by the slice. But on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights from 4 to 6, they've been selling pizza by the slice there. And I've heard from numerous friends that you can call and request a whole pizza, and you can get a whole pizza. So last night I requested a whole pizza, and I got a whole pizza, which was huge. I was expecting it to be really tiny, 4 slices. No, this was like an actual pizza size.
You have leftovers.
Pizza. Yeah. It was like I kind of ate that, but pizza last night and today. But it was $13 too.
It's not bad at all.
Really affordable. And it had speck on it and mozzarella and yeah.
And I'm off on Thursdays. That's a good. That's another day that I go out and eat a lot.
They're doing it. They're calling it the Great Pizza Experiment.
Okay.
And I think Pops is about to start doing pizza as well from what I've been seeing on Facebook.
In addition to the late hours on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights?
There may be pizza in the works for them as well, just based on what I've been seeing on Facebook. So
that sounds delicious.
Yeah. I'm all about
another lunch stop.
I'm all about this pizza.
This die's never going to happen.
Yeah. This juice cleanse cannot come soon enough.
Yeah. I don't think I'll ever really be able to do one of those, let's be honest.
All right, we are going to take another break, and when we come back, we have more with Jacquay. So come back to us. It's the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Welcome back to the Lafayette Food Junkie Show on News Talk 96.5 KPEL. I'm your host, Tiffiany Decou, and joining us tonight has been Serve Extraordinaire, Jacquay Johnson. My mom just texted too. She said she was a very good worker and very polite, got her license one day and wrecked the car the next day.
Oh my gosh, she remembers that.
Felt so bad for her.
I did. I hit a parked car.
I'm sorry, did I laugh that hard at you on
in front
air?
of La Pizzeria. It was a red course. I hit a parked SUV. The lady came out of La Pizzeria. She was having lunch with her daughters, and I'm bawling because I'm supposed to be driving to McDonald's to pick my sister up. But I want to say I was picking something up for my brother at the bicycle store next to that or something. Anyway, I hit the parked car. She runs out and she's like, "It's okay, sweetie. I have 2 daughters. They hit everything."
Oh, my goodness.
And the police come, and I just have to drive the car back down Ambassador to McDonald's, and I'm shaking.
Yeah, because you don't want to drive at that point.
I'm just bawling, crying, and my sister's like, "Do you want me to drive it?" I'm like, "Yes, please."
Aww.
And no, it's not a small vehicle either. An SUV.
Yes, I hit a parked SUV.
It happened.
I've gotten a lot better now.
Yeah.
It was my only accident to be
Babette just totally wanted to embarrass you, or I did, actually, because she texted to me. Gotta love Babette.
I mean, I'll keep it real.
Yeah. She'll call and embarrass me for something. She'll get me back. Who knows? So on last week's show, we had someone with Great Harvest come on, and she brought us all kinds of goodies. She brought us some cinnamon swirl bread. And I actually took the leftover cinnamon swirl bread and made French toast with it.
I saw that.
But I made grilled French toast ham and cheese sandwiches. So I actually made them.
Yeah.
So I made the French toast. I put the cheese, layered it with cheese, ham, put it under the broiler so it would get melty.
Sounds just as good as French press.
And then poured maple syrup from Vermont. It's from my friend's brother's farm in Vermont. And it was delicious.
That sounds awesome.
It was my take on a Monte Cristo. And actually, I got the ham this morning at Target. I don't know what brand it was. It was the cheapest brand. And I remember thinking, oh, this is going to taste horrible.
No.
When I got it. That ham was good.
All I could think is like, only thing I would want is like a bourbon maple syrup.
Ooh, yeah.
Just because it
was really good. I wish I would have I should have let the bread stay out to make it stale. So it would have been a little more like chewy to it, but it was so good.
The Dale, yeah,
it was.
That sounds awesome.
I said it was my take on a Monte Cristo, and it wasn't as greasy as a Monte Cristo. Because I was telling one of my friends about it, and they were like, "Oh, that sounds so heavy and disgusting." I was like, "No, you mean it sounds awesome?
It sounds awesome.
Yeah,
and the bread's from Great Harvest. It has to be healthy, right?
It was. It was delicious. It was so delicious.
My sister used to bring me blueberry muffin tops from there.
Really?
I love the tops of muffins. So I'll eat the bottom first and then eat the top. But she would just bring, I'm like, so I can just get the tops. I'm hooked for life.
Man.
If I get that far out down.
You can just buy a muffin and just eat the top off of it.
Exactly. I save it for the second time.
They used to sell those. I feel like there's a Seinfeld skit that was about this. that they were like trying to figure out what to do with the bottom.
Yes,
bottoms
of
you
the
don't
want that part. You
right?
want the top.
Yeah.
With the crunchy edges and whatnot.
Seinfeld. We should try to reference Seinfeld in every episode.
Absolutely.
My croissants article came out this week for the Times of Acadiana. Are you a big croissant fan?
I am. I'm more likely to switch my bread to croissants.
Me too.
Anytime.
Yeah. So what place in Lafayette do you like getting croissants from?
Let's see.
Because I showcased 3 that actually make it.
One of my favorite places that I love to go to get them at Fresh Market.
Oh, yes. They have good ones at Fresh Market.
I'll get the chicken salad, and I like to put that in the croissant.
Yes. And they actually sell the sandwiches already on the croissant with the chicken salad.
You know, I want to make it myself.
That's one of the only places that I'll eat the chicken salad. Yes. And they have really good chocolate croissants, too.
Ooh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah. Go and live a new life.
I go on Tuesdays usually after work and get chicken salad and I guess chocolate croissants now too.
Well, the research that I did on the article was saying that a lot of French bakeries don't make them from scratch anymore. They buy them pre-made. And so the whole art of making croissants in France is dying. But America has kind of taken up the cause and kind of reinvented it and made it their own with the cronut. Which has still not come to Lafayette.
No, maybe we can ask Kelly and Michael to send us one.
Yeah, some cronuts.
I want one.
I would love one. So what I found was like 3 places in town that were kind of doing their own spin. So obviously Poop Arts makes legit croissants. And I like their raspberry croissants. I'm not a big fan of their chocolate ones. The almond ones are good. And I love the croissant breakfast sandwiches from there. So they're good. The Lab on Sundays, they do scraps.
Ooh.
I can never say it right. Scraps. And they're like little popovers, and it's all the leftovers from their croissants during the week. And I love the belly bacon is my favorite. And they have a revolving...
Yeah, me a bacon.
Yeah. Like Sunday mornings, I'll wake up sometimes Sunday mornings, and I'm like, ooh, I need to see what the Lab is going to post, what kind they're going to have today to see if I'm going to go or not.
That can be a Sunday brunch option now.
And then Rev Coffee Roasters does something called a baguette, and I probably butchered that name, but it's their beignet dough, and they fry it. So it's almost like a churro and a croissant and a beignet had a baby.
All together.
And they only do them on Saturdays because they are really labor intensive. So, but those were some places in town that I found.
So maybe they should get on the Waiter app so I can have that delivered.
Yeah. But, I mean, frozen croissants are still really good.
Yes, they are. There's nothing wrong with that Pillsbury
I even like Albertsons croissants, like just to go pick them up and eat. Croissants probably
they're buttery and flaky.
Breakfast go-to.
It's awesome.
Yeah. You can't go wrong, even with the frozen. Now, crescent rolls, that's another story. But they have their purpose as well.
Yes, they do.
If you're in a bind. I remember when I was little, anytime we got crescent rolls, it was like a special occasion.
They are.
It was like, this meal is fancy because we have crescent rolls. You took the time to fold the biscuits.
You rolled it up for me.
Right.
And now you want the big ones. Like now I don't want the little tiny croissants anymore.
No.
Now you better come correct with the big can.
Right.
And I need two. I still want two.
Right.
I don't care that they're bigger than the previous ones. Still know to make tea cans.
Now I'm just like, whatever. I'm just like, no more crescent rolls. I actually like them if I'm going to do like the pig in the blanket thing.
Yes, they're so good.
If I'm acting like I'm 12, because I still really like that at 35.
They're delicious.
Yeah, they're fine. I think you can also do things. You can do all kinds of creative things with them. So just to like eat them, no. But if you do like creative things with them,
I actually have a stromboli
like
recipe, and I use the crescent rolls and I roll it out instead of making my own dough. But it's still really good.
Nice. All right, we're gonna do our quick fire challenge questions. I'll just kind of ask you some questions and kind of the first thing that comes off the top of your head. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
What kind of tea do you like?
Pretty much any type of dark tea. I'm not really opposed.
I'm a chamomile girl.
Ooh,
I like coffee in the morning and I like relaxing tea in the afternoon.
I could pretty much tea and a snack. I mean, I can move to London and have tea time. I wouldn't be mad at that.
Wouldn't be mad at that. If you could have any dream server in the world, who would it be to wait on you for the night?
Ooh.
And this is going to be like a famous person. We'll just pretend like they're a server. But
well, it would have to be my morning husband, Michael Strahan.
Ooh, nice.
I wake up to him every morning.
All right. What is in your refrigerator at home right now?
Let's see. Ooh, I still have one shrimp left from the dim sum.
One lucky shrimp.
There may be a smidgen of that fried rice left. I actually have a quick spaghetti that I made that is in there. And probably just like salad mix. And of course, no LeBlanc.
Well, your answer was way more interesting than the chefs that I was about to retire this question, because every time I ask a chef, because they're never home, obviously they're like nothing. And I
have a couple of things.
I'm going to have to not ask chefs that, but then ask other people that come on the show that. What is your post-shift drink?
Post-shift drink.
Old-fashioned?
Slow and low old-fashioned.
I'm going to have to try this now.
The drink of champions.
The drink of champions.
We could go get one after this.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Ooh, we could actually.
Yes, we can.
We need to hang out more, Jacquay.
We do.
That's what we're learning from doing this show together.
We realize we're still real life friends and we like to talk.
Yeah. Imagine that.
What is your death row meal?
Death row meal. After seeing my post yesterday of that risotto I made with that meatball stew, it would have to definitely be rice and gravy.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
It looks good. It was like a chorizo.
It was my first. I did my first risotto, and it was just a basic chicken stock risotto. I think I might have put and maybe I did like roasted broccolini or something in it. I don't really remember, but dark roux. Good gravy. It was awesome.
Nice. Jacquay, thank you so much for coming on
You're
tonight.
More than welcome.
Yes.
All right. That's our show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Join us next week, Sunday at 6 p.m. This has been Tiffiany Decou on News Talk 96.5 KPEL. And this has been the Lafayette Food Junkie Show. Thanks for listening. And as always, happy eating, Acadiana.